Oddities right here. You know what? Yes, we are talking about something really cool this time around, so you don't want to miss it. The Omen collection by Scream Factory. We had gotten this in. You know, I seen this. This has been out for quite some time. You know, I remember watching the original one. I rented it on VHS and actually bought my VHS copy of The Omen from Blockbuster when they decided to sell some stuff. And mine was actually the big box VHS copy where it slid out through the side and everything. You know what? I looked those things up on eBay. That particular one is like $100 or more. And you know, looking back, I tell you, you know, somebody made a good comment one time. They said, you know, we spent a fortune trying to get back all those old cool things that we remember. So anyway, here we have the Omen Deluxe Edition by Scream Factory. And I tell you, Scream Factory does it right. Whenever they do box sets and everything like that, if you're a fan of the old horror stuff, Scream Factory does it right. Up here we actually have the Friday the 13th box set that they did. So it just, you know what, in thinking about how awesome that set is, and I thought, you know what, this has got to be good. And it did not disappoint. First of all, we're going to go through the special features, and this is more about the box set itself, not so much the movies. We've got a 4K remaster of The Omen itself. New interviews with actors Lee Grant, Robert Foxworth, and so on. We got a bunch of actors and stuff, people listed there. The Omen Legacy documentary, 666, The Omen Revealed documentary, still galleries, audio commentaries, vintage featurettes, theatrical trailers, TV spots, radio spots, and much more. So we're going to go ahead and bust this thing open because you have basically 5 movies here. The first 4 Omen films. You know what? I got to be honest. I didn't even know there was the 4th one. I actually thought, I knew about the 3rd one because Sam Neill's in it, but I didn't know about the other ones. And then of course the remake with Liv Schreiber or whatnot, which I did see, but I vaguely remember it. So okay, here we go. Let's bust this open. And I'm going to tell you right now, the first thing that I really liked right away was the original cover slips. Look at that. That's the original cover that I would remember from VHS. And those of us like myself, and this is mostly geared towards the collector, I really am thrilled about this. This is so awesome that they go back and they reprint the old covers. Having the old covers is everything. That is so cool that they did that. So there it is. On the inside, actually the cool thing too is the disc itself has a really good image on it. There it is right there. It has the picture. You know, I always loved that back in the, you know, that time where they would literally look, what it looked like was they probably paid an artist to hand draw or sketch out something. You had Damien there with this shadow coming, and it was the shadow of the dog. And you know, I recall, I could have sworn that I always thought that it was a reflection of a cross, as seen here on the remake there. But interesting. All right, part 2. Again, I remember that VHS cover for me. William Holden is in this, which is, you know, I really, honestly, I don't remember this one at all. Damien returns to fulfill his destiny. Yeah, so since the sudden and suspicious death of his parents, young Damien has been charged with, has been in charge of his wealthy uncle. Wow, so this is enrolled in military. Interesting. I don't remember this one at all. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. But really cool. Damien, The Omen 2, basically. First time was only a warning. Alright. And of course, number 3. I do remember number 3 because number 3 had Sam Neill in it. And there he is, on a very young Sam Neill, by the way. The Final Conflict. Actually, that's what it's called. It's not even called The Omen 3 or anything. It's just called The Final Conflict. Yep. I did not know. I thought it was called like The Omen 3, The Final Conflict. So, anyway, I really actually just got this in. I didn't even really go through it. I just, you know, kind of got it in and just decided to share it with you. And let's see what the, oh yeah. So the That one here, the DVD cover, or the DVD disc, has the image on there. So this one looks like it's got something to do with birds or ravens or something like that. On the back here you see the, you know, them with the raven. And of course the final conflict here. That's actually cool that they did put the images on there. There is some back images on the other sides of the slip cover that you can see through. There's some other images there. This one here, Omen 4, they actually came back to the title, The Omen, The Awakening. Actually, now that I look at that, I do kind of remember that cover. Oh, I know that guy. I don't know his name, but I've seen him in a lot of movies. Again, this is another one I have not seen. Damien's Prophecy is Reborn. This is going to be a fun night. And then, of course, you get the remake right there. I do recall seeing this. It's not bad. Can't remember if it was rated R. It was rated R. There was some extra stuff in here that I remember. Extended scenes. Yeah, here it is. In the features, unrated extended scenes and extended ending and stuff like that. So I guess they did include some of that other stuff. But the star of the show really for me is the original. This set right here on Amazon is about 40 bucks right now. That's where I got it. Unfortunately, Amazon decided to ship mine in a plastic bag, in a sense, and not a box like it should have, and it got banged around, so the corners on my box set is definitely damaged, unfortunately. The jewel cases are okay. They didn't get damaged or anything, so I'm grateful in that aspect. But I wish, come on, Amazon, something like that, put it in a box. Put it in a box, at least, not a plastic bag. So, Gregory Peck, I'm actually surprised he did this movie. I really am. It's directed by Richard Donner. If you don't know who Richard Donner is, shame on you. He did movies, such great movies like Lethal Weapon and whatnot. So, but Richard Donner, you know, it was even surprising that he did this. He directed a movie like this. 1976, The Omen. I do recall in a documentary I read or watched that Richard Donner approached it in a different aspect. He said he wanted to make it more of a thriller, a mystery, rather than you know, a horror flick. And it was also noted that that's what attracted Gregory Peck to it. It was not going to be like so much of a horror film, and that's what it is. It is kind of a murder mystery with that sinister horror overtone to it. There is some really good sequences in it. I definitely, and you know what, and the ending did not disappoint. As it really starts getting going, and you know, Gregory Peck starts to really dig into what's going on, and they start going into, you know, the town and looking for the guy with the daggers and all that, and then him going back to the house and actually taking on the nanny, the demented nanny. Gosh, what a good role she played. Great actress. I mean, she was just absolutely menacing in that. And then, of course, locking the dog downstairs. I think he ended up sticking her in the neck or something with a ham fork. But it was all just really good stuff. Of course, the infamous glass sequence where the sheet of glass comes down and nails the photographer. The spike coming off the roof and pinning the priest. These are all real iconic sequences in there. But the one that really stands out for me the most is that there's a scene where Gregory Peck calls up the hospital and basically tells his wife, look, get out, meet me somewhere, you know, meet me in Rome, I believe it is, you need to get out. So she says, okay, okay, okay. So she tries to do this, the nanny shows up, and out the window she goes and dies, falls to her death. Really dramatic death, by the way. And, you know, of course, Gregory Peck's laying there in that motel or wherever he's at, and he's all, you know, chewed up from the dogs and stuff that he went to at the graveyard to discover that, you know, they murdered his original, you know, his real son and all that. So he's laying there, and there's a scene where he's laying like this, and the shot is coming at you like that, and he's laying there, and his buddy, the photographer, comes in, and he recites the poem, and then he says, Kathy is dead, and I want Damien to die too. that was a powerful scene, real powerful scene. Again, you know, a good success on that scene also being believable because of the late Gregory Peck. So anyway, figured we'd open that up, deluxe edition. The box is really great. I like the box. You know, you got this extra slip piece right here. It's attached with some glue that you can actually take off, which is great that they do that, because like my Friday the 13th collection, and that's on the channel as well, I am going to slip that right there and keep the rest of these together like that. So what a cool set. I think it's worth it alone. Just if they had not have done the slip covers like that, the original VHS copy looking slip covers, I probably would have maybe have passed on this collection. Like I said, it's been out for a while. I've always just kind of passed on it, but I'm glad this time around I did pick it up. I'm happy that they do that. Scream Factory, also Arrow Video did the same with the House collection, which I have on the channel. I love when these companies are doing that, where they're going back and they're getting the old original artwork and producing it on this, because older folks like myself that grew up in the VHS era, that you know, I know unfortunately a lot of the younger generation, the cell phone babies don't understand. But for me, the 80s and 90s rocked, and the reason why was because of stuff like this. Anyway, thanks for tuning in and everything. I'm really glad, again, that they did that. The old VHS copies, the companies that are doing that, I can't speak enough about it. Scream Factory, Shout Factory, I believe is the same company. They have been doing a bang-up job on re-releasing a lot of the cool old videos and movies that made our childhood rock.